just soaking up all the alcohol on the floor.
Yeah,
Sweating just nasty.
I just saw an opportunity. It was like everyone cleared out, and I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm just gonna run and slide in the middle of the mosh pit. Why not?"
That was probably one of the more crazy ones we've ever been to.
Yeah, I have no idea who that was.
Yeah,
I don't remember. There's so many of shows, so many I don't even remember what events happened at what show.
I think we got.
So, music. Four with the boys. Another episode. Welcome. This is how we do it.
This
is how we do it. Off the cuff.
Yeah, we never plan anything.
Yeah, music's pretty general. But I think in the first episode we talked a little bit about how a lot of us started hanging out with going to raves and whatnot. So wanted to talk a little bit more about that and other music related things.
I remember the very first rave, I guess if you want to call it, with you guys was Cruella at the Songus.
That was the
very first one.
Was it before that?
They opened with Party Monster.
Our first was before there.
Yeah.
That was the college campus tour, with the one where we saw Logic. Logic's pretty big, and you don't really realize we actually seen him live.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was as big back then as he is now with
I didn't know he was. I didn't know the name at all.
Released his last album Friday.
I didn't even know who Logic was at the time.
I knew the name, but now he's collabing with Eminem and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna become a Twitch streamer. He just retired for Friday.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, what the heck?
I didn't see that.
That was his last album. Supposedly.
I don't follow it really that much, but I mean, if we're talking about the first one that I ever went to, it was probably was it Wicked Halloween, or was it just a random? I don't know. It was like a Kiss 108. Not Kiss 108.
I don't know.
It was like an Amp Radio thing with the Hardwell, Danik Darrow, right? I don't know who put it on the show, but
it was me and Cody.
Yeah, we were listening to the music for a long time. It was I'd been to a few concerts with Christian for more rock groups and other groups, but we had never been to a electronic show. So I was like, oh, Hardwell, I've heard some of his stuff. We should check it out. And it ended up being super crazy and super different and awesome. And then since then we've been to 100 shows. That one was just me and Tim, but since then I think we've done almost all of them. Aside from one or two, we've done almost all of them, all four of us.
We switched from rock genre to dubstep.
On the rock, sort of, not really rock, but that side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
The first concert I ever went to was Five Finger Death Punch and Volbeat. Oh man, that was insane. That was nuts. Heavy metal.
Yeah.
You should have been to the Weapons of Weapons of Destruction or something like that.
Yeah.
What was the one with Scott?
It was something like that. But yeah, it was Killswitch Engage, Disturbed.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It's I don't know, when I was in high school and stuff, I used to listen to more of the metal based music, because that was kind of some of the kids I hung around with. And as I kind of came out of the metal, listening to the metal based music, that's when I kind of first heard dubstep. The first song was Skrillex, the Scary Monsters, Nice Sprites song. Was the very first I had heard techno and stuff. I heard Tiesto way long ago, because that's he was just known, and I knew the techno trance type stuff. But that Skrillex song was oh, it's is it heavy metal, or it was electronic? I was oh, it's kind of cool. So I feel the transition into dubstep was easy with kind of coming from that heavy metal stuff. But after that, just dove deep into all the different genres.
The first two songs I remember listening to in the dubstep category is either Cinema or Recess by Skrillex.
Cinema was the second song for sure.
Yeah, Cinema was Recess. I feel was a little after that came out.
That was the second album.
I thought it was the same album as Cinema. Wasn't?
No, the first one was First of the Year. The one where she's.
Oh right. Yep.
Because it was yeah, it was one of them. He screams "Call 911," and the other one is "Yes, oh my God." I think. Right, those are the two. It was the same song, just crazy beat with a girl screaming and the thing.
The sound clips.
Yeah, That's like all of them started. It was just like soft build up, some random sound clip, and then like just crazy crazy drop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like talking to a lot of people, Skrillex definitely was like front running, like not like in the world, but like at least for a lot of people that I knew, like he was the first introduction to a lot of like, you know, what we call dubstep, which if you're listening and you aren't familiar with dubstep, you can Google it and you'll probably see a Skrillex song or something like that on there. It's kind of like a heavier version of what you would imagine as electronic music. If you've never heard it.
Too, it's like weird though, because there's so many like versions of it. There's so many like genres and subgenres of everything, and it's just like it's all electronic music. It's just
that's the thing.
It's all ridiculous.
When people say like, "What do you listen to?" I just say, "Oh, like electronic music," because it's like, "Oh, I listen to melodic dubstep and trap and stuff," and I'm like, "Oh, what is that?" And it's like now that it's like
dubbing in the movie,
drum and bass.
Yeah, the longer it's out, the more like categorization people put around it. But yeah, it's like electronic music as a whole. I think personally that's like the best live like show to be at now. Like I used to like the shows, like say with Christian, those were fun. It was kind of crazy and stuff, but those like got a little too rough and never like back down. The electronic shows, like you can go hard and stuff, but you still get like the best of both worlds where you can still like sing a song, but then like go hard in a mosh pit or something.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd surfing was pretty fun back then.
I can't crowd surf. I'm too fat.
Anything's possible.
I tried it, and you guys dropped me on my head.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it wasn't really crowd surfing. We just kind of like
lifted you up. It was us two trying to pick you up in the middle of a mosh pit. I wasn't crowd surfing.
Yeah, it's similar.
That's a good memory. We have that on a clip somewhere saved on my computer. Me and Tim lifting Brian up. Like after a few drinks in the middle of the crowd. Oh, it's a good song. Brian's like, lift me up. And we just lift him up and immediately just like pile drive him into the center of the floor.
I remember another one that Tim was a little wild in it. And he got back and then ran and then dove on the floor.
The old penguin slide.
Yep. I remember that.
I think all three of you did that.
Yeah. Didn't you?
I was the only one who didn't do it. All three of you guys did it.
Tim did it, and then me and Christian did it a little bit.
I was gonna say I did it first, then you guys did it afterwards.
Just soaking up all the alcohol on the floor.
Yeah,
sweating just nasty.
I just saw an opportunity. It was like everyone would clear it out, and I was like, oh, all right. I'm just gonna run and slide in the middle of the mosh pit. Why not?
That was probably one of the more crazy ones we've ever been to.
Yeah, I have no idea who that was.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I don't remember. There's so many of shows, so many like I don't even remember what events happened at what show.
I think we've gone to more Excision shows than every other show that we've gone.
Excision and Zomboy.
Yeah, the Excision and Zomboy we've each seen like 3 times or something, I think.
Yeah, Corolla we've seen a little
twice.
Bit.
Yeah,
twice.
Well, here's a question for you, Tim. So what was the turning point for you avoiding the mosh pit to jumping straight in with us like right away? Because early on, me and Christian would fall back and we'd end up in a mosh pit, and then you and Brian would kind of hang out early on. I think it was for me. I think it was when you went to the gym and you were a little more confident in yourself, and you experienced it, and you were like, "Whoa, this is freaking awesome."
That's definitely. I think that's definitely part of it.
It's funny you bring that up. You and Christian falling back, and then me and Tim would be up front. Like, we'd always
every time.
I remember that. I mean, I kind of forgot that was how it was in the beginning. Me and Brian would just be up on the rail, the front rail, and Brian would just like push people out of the way. I would just like be behind them, and we'd just hold the rail down, and you guys
hold on to me, and then I just bounce right through everybody.
I think that's probably part of it though. For a long time, like I was like not super confident, like with myself really, and I think like when I started going to the gym, I just felt better. I mean, I did see some progress, but I just felt more confident and just I don't know. I think that was part of it, but.
Yeah. And then once you see like how it is, it was like
and just getting more comfortable with going to the concerts themselves.
Yeah,
I've never been really a super not sociable, but like I don't know. I'm a little slow to like do new things. So like once I'm comfortable with it, that's better.
I think our experience definitely went through like waves. Like we were like loved it in the beginning, but we would do very different things.
Yeah.
Like like I said, we would kind of end up separating because Christian had to pee like every 10 seconds. So I would have like fallen back with him, trying to catch up with him.
It took a while to get our system down, but then once we got it, it's like guaranteed we all have a good time every night. Nothing really like goes wrong. We have like a perfect system now.
Yeah, that's what music does. You know, it just brings us together and just like enjoy yourselves and just have fun. You know, and just get into the tune.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do things like we never done before, like mosh pits or like throw ourselves on the ground, like crazy like that.
I feel like every time we go and there's like a mosh pit, you always got that one guy or person who's always just super drunk or super whatever, just doesn't care
too much.
He's always trying to like go super hard and wreck people.
Yeah,
and he's just getting destroyed.
We all just gang up on him and destroy him. It's funny
because like everyone is like, "Come on, dude! Like, don't."
Yeah. Well, also like everyone, when you think of like the term mosh pit, like unless you're like in that scene, like most people look down upon the term. You know what I mean? Because you think of like just wild, crazy. But I feel like
actually kind of friendly.
That's the thing. I think the electronic shows take it as a different version of what you would consider a mosh pit, because when you finally start like going in it and you think like, hey, it's very physical and it's rough and stuff, but then like people are like patting you on the back, or like you come out of the circle, they're helping you out. They let everybody that falls, you pick them up. Like no, like occasionally you get like one guy that's like being a dick or something, but for the most part, like you come out of there like smiling, like, oh man, these are all like good people. Like you're just having a good time and you're all like vibing to the same music. So it's like that whole like connectivity with the music and stuff is like, it's such a good time.
It just feels like depends on the genre, because like if it was like heavy metal, you see all those crazy people just like
That's the thing. I feel like those get a little too crazy because they're like, they get into the music and that music's a little bit harder, and then like they're not looking at you, they're just like swinging and throwing punches, and I feel like that's not like, I'd rather not do that kind of stuff.
I'm not trying to leave with like broken face.
Well, not that it doesn't happen.
But it's rare, and that was probably an accident. Just caught an elbow to the nose and probably broke. I don't think it was broken, but basically gave myself a black eye 2 days before my sister's wedding. So that was fun. That was fun.
Oh, that's the reveal.
Yeah, I made for some funny pictures.
Everybody's getting hurt every time we go.
Yeah.
That's a part of it. I think too, like I remember like when you're talking about going through phases, how like when we first went, it's like kind of cool. And then I feel like in the middle of our concerts and stuff, it was just like uncomfortable. Like, man, there's so many people. It's kind of weird. And like, we didn't like it. But now that we go, it's like, we kind of lost that. Like, it doesn't really affect us as much.
Yeah, you definitely like let go a little bit. Because early on, you're like, oh man, you're pushing everybody. And you're like, this.
Yeah.
Like, you're only like, focused on your space. You're not focused on the music. But later on, you're just like, go ahead, do whatever. And it's like, it's better.
I remember me and Tim specifically, but we all kind of did it at once. We all were like, make a wall.
Because people kept pushing through.
We do that more when we went to like the longest thing we ever did it. House of Blues.
Right. But it definitely helped for the good portion of our beginning shows. You didn't have any drinks. We never do anything on those ones. We just went for the music, which we still kind of do, but definitely helps on these last few, having a couple of drinks, relax a little more.
So the message is, damn it! I was going to say what it was.
The message is, damn it!
Does it every time?
Be a responsible drinker.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going in to get trash, but I think you walk in, you get a drink, loosen up a little bit, and then you start having a good time, and then you start vibing to the music, and the rest of the night just kind of sinks in.
What'd you just do?
Brian's like a random injury.
Look at, we're just sitting down and Brian gets hurt.
I was flexing my leg out, it was sore, and now I got a cramp in my thigh.
Nice, good job.
All right,
because we're not going to shows and getting our exercise.
Right?
Yeah,
true.
Legs are getting weak.
I'm not tearing our leg muscles up every 5 seconds.
You know what's the crazy thing? It's just like you go in there and you have to wait in the line, and it depends on the weather.
Yeah.
We get the craziest weather.
I mean, we got lucky a lot of times.
I think I can only really remember like twice being in bad scenarios. One was Steve Aoki, because it was literally like 2 to 3 hours waiting outside in t-shirts in like February. And then it was one other one, I forget which one it was, but we were standing outside and it was cold, but like it was all snow, so we were like standing on top of the snow, so like our feet were like super cold. But every other time we literally have never had to stand like in the pouring rain. We've lucked out really well.
Yep.
Don't see
Yeah,
that.
we never got rain. Yeah, we never got rain.
Well, I mean, at this point, we're not gonna get to go to a concert until freaking 2022.
Yeah, that's like what they're looking at now.
We're all gonna be like 65 by the time we're able to go again.
Which is why we're talking about it now. We keep reminiscing about like these good times, so it's like prevalent in our minds.
Well, we'll be throwing raves in our rooms like me and Scott did that one time.
What?
That was a long time ago when we first started getting into it.
I think it was like right when I showed him like that first Skrillex song, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then he started like looking up his own songs, and I had my own songs, and we like Michelle was like doing something, and we went up in like one of the rooms,
the middle of the computer room,
and we just put on a black light
we
put on a black light and a strobe light at the same time. Put on the music on the computer, and we were just like to like some random Skrillex song. But we were like young and didn't care, and I was like, "That's cool. It was fun." We'll have to start doing that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that would make for a good video.
That could be a fun podcast. Just like talk to the audience while we just
an hour of us just like going crazy raving. That's a good time.
There's a lot of them that we went to that have a lot of good memories.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's countless. I mean, I definitely hope we get to do some more.
Cases, no memories.
I mean,
that's not the intention.
Some of them definitely like blend together. We've seen like the same headliners, but different like openers, and kind of gone all over the place. And we definitely opened it up more because like ours like pattern of how we're doing it changed, but we also like started seeing different sets of people. Like we just started like adding so many people to our list of guys that we've seen. So we've seen like I say we started with like Hardwell, which is kind of like
house and
more like kind of early techno style. And then we go to like hardcore dubstep with like Excision, Zombie, these kind of guys. And then like more recently we kind of like jump into more of like the melodic ones where you're actually singing the songs. And not that those weren't around, it's just kind of like that's just like the genres have changed over time, and we definitely are going more on that side. I would say my two favorite are like going hard at like an Excision show, and then like an Millennium show where you can sing every word, and just like those are different vibes. Like looking at someone and just like belting out all the lyrics versus like looking at someone and like tackling them.
I love tackling people.
It's hard to say too, because like I said, like Millennium is probably overall my favorite show with everyone there and just that type of music. Like you said, like singing all the words, but at the same time, like there's definitely a place for just going hard, just like headbanging, going crazy in the mosh pit. Like
on Millennium, like every word, every song it's playing. In some of the dubstep shows, like you have no idea what the hell song is playing. You just like.
The one I find very interesting was the Midnight Run. I really like that one just because it had like stages set up.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do that one.
Yeah, so it was like so a long time ago, me, Tim, Michelle, and Cody had done what's it called?
Electric Run
at Gillette Stadium. And it was really cool. It was like all through the parking lot, up in the stadium, and then like this music playing, there's like glow sticks, and then at the end there's like a cool party, and it was like I forget who was there, but it was like it's pretty cool. It was
just a cool concert, yeah. It was a really good concert.
And it kept getting canceled like in other years, like oh man, and then they finally came up with like this random Night Nation run. We're like, oh, we'll try that. And like me and Tim went to go pick up the shirts like the day before, and it was like an hour away or something ridiculous. Yeah. And when we get there, it was like some like abandoned like carnival field. We're like parking in some like grassy area, and we're like, "Oh, this is it." And it had like nothing set up. It was like the day before. We're like, "What the hell?"
One table with like two people sitting on it.
And then that day we went. It was me, Tim, Michelle, and Christian. And we got there, and we're like, "Oh man, are they running the race?" And we're like running around. We were all confused. And everyone's just sitting there like drinking Red Bulls and stuff. And we're like, "What the hell?" And they were like, "Oh, the race starts in like an hour."
Still.
Yeah, it was like one heat. Everyone runs at the same time. We were so confused. We're like, okay, we just stood there for like an hour, and then it got dark and we started running. But then like they had like these little booths with like people playing music as we were running, but it was so disorganized. It was like people were running and they had no idea what direction to go in. Like I think we took a loop, but we ended up doing like a half mile more than what we should have.
It was on this weird.
It was like a horse track or something.
Yeah, it was like a weird track. It was like a small track. It was kind of dangerous because we like missed our turn. Everyone was running through, and it was like old telephone poles with like nails sticking out.
Yeah, it was so weird.
We're like hopping over like all this like junk and like we're like, what are we doing? And then we like ran around where we already went and we're like, it was just so confusing. We're all like just running but like confused. Like
and then like as you cross the finish line, you just like run up this field and then there's like music playing. So you're like, what was the point of the race? It was like it was like so pointless. And like the show was like pretty cool. It was all outdoors, yeah. Like drones and stuff, and it was like a cool show. There was like the event was just very awkward.
That's why I think I enjoyed those two, because those two are the only two like shows we've ever been to that was like outside.
It was outside, yeah.
And that was really cool.
It was like a fake little what do you call them? Festival.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, eventually we'll go to like Couchlands, you know.
Well, Couchlands is only from
I was at Couchlands like last week.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Couchlands.
Lost Lands. Tomorrowland, baby.
Tomorrowland, yeah. Something like
EDC
that.
Vegas
Oh yeah,
EDC is more.
There's a ton. EDC there's like a ton to do. EDC Vegas would be like the most practical that we would be able to do. Just get a hotel room,
okay.
You know, hit up that
So
field.
all right. So I got a question for all three of you.
Well, he's getting into it.
So in the
still got a like
down the lane, what would you have an ideal group trip to a show, and where and what's the settings going to be like?
I mean, if you're talking like something that already exists and not like something that we would create, I would probably say Vegas, EDC Vegas, because when they do those shows, the hotels, I mean, they're super expensive, but like there are some that do deals where you can get like a package where you can get like a food thing and like a couple nights. And if we did 4 people in like a room that had like a double bed with like a couple couches or something like that, we could do like 3 nights there, do the shows, get to walk around in Vegas like during the day. Like, who doesn't want to do like a trip to Vegas and see a festival?
Fight if they have one.
Well, UFC would probably be like the same night, so that would be hard. But
you guys saw Rampage.
What?
Oh, we think we did, back in Vegas.
Oh, yes.
I've never been to a UFC fight.
Me and Christian went to one in Boston, but
man, if us 4 went to a UFC fight, it would have been fun. It would actually been crazy fun.
Yep,
it's actually pretty
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ideally that would be awesome. Like Tomorrowland is like something Tim and I talk about like all the time, but like that one is like traveling overseas, not just like 5 hours on a plane to Vegas. Like that one's like traveling to like Sweden or wherever the hell it was, Denmark or something.
Germany, I think was one of them. It was in somewhere in Germany was one time.
Like I feel like we can go to the ones like the Lost Lands, like if they have it in Canada. That's where
I think they do an EDC in like
New York
too, which we could do.
Miami.
Yeah.
Ultra.
There's one is that Ultra? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ultras. Yeah.
I feel like Ultra always has like crazy issues, like people getting stabbed and stuff. Miami's rough.
Well, I think it's because the location, but also like Brian was just saying, it's like a bunch of different stuff going on. It's like there's a lot of big DJs, but there's also like pop, there's rock, there's rap. Like there's a lot of different stuff. So it's kind of like what we were saying earlier, like from the outside, the electronic community may seem a little weird, but like it's very like caring. It's very like sounds weird, but like compassionate. Like people care about each other. But like when you have like all these different groups of people that bring in different opinions and different events, I think there's some issues maybe there. But
I mean, they're all definitely nice, but I think
you said, generally most people are good people in general. But
the different groups are definitely different. Like if you go to like a zombie concert, you get some like high fives and stuff, but if you're at like the Millennium concert, you just like sing into a random like person in front of you, and it's like it's definitely a different crowd, because it's like the people that like that are generally like I don't know. I don't categorize the people, but like you know what I mean. Like it's the heart of the music. I feel like this is a different style.
The Halloween event is actually pretty good. That's my first one with Marshmallow. It's Slushy.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, those events were pretty cool.
I like that one.
No, Gorilla Suit was.
Oh, that was Above and Beyond.
That was before me.
Yeah, Above and Beyond.
Oh man,
Brian almost died.
It wasn't even because of you didn't even make it to Above and Beyond. It's because Benny Benassi went there, and we were like, "Oh, Benny Benassi!" Was like, "Yo, he's the guy from Cinema," and he just went super hard. And Brian was like going crazy, and then like Above and Beyond came on for like a 2-hour, just super melodic set, and Brian was just like dead in the stands.
So there was there's these raves, I guess you would call them, Wicked Halloween, and obviously they're on or around Halloween time. And I think it was the first or second one I went to. I had a gorilla suit costume. It was like super hairy and super just heavy.
It was a full
I put
suit.
it on because it was a Halloween. You got to dress up, and nobody thought I would do it, so I put it on.
Full gorilla
I drove to the thing in the gorilla suit costume, and I went to a rave in the gorilla suit.
Well, it sucks now.
It was going hard, and I had to back out and sit down for like 20 minutes because I felt like I was going to die.
His pouring sweat.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Sucks now that they swapped it to a different area, which we don't like to go to.
It's just not as easy, but yeah, those are always like fun shows, like good DJs, but like just close and like a cool like Halloween atmosphere.
Because wasn't the last one, the last weekend Halloween they did, was that Diplo or was that
that Nervo?
Yeah,
well,
Diplo and
Nervo
Nervo
was
were the same show.
I think that was Wicked Halloween, wasn't it? Wasn't it the last one?
Above and Beyond wasn't the first. That was the second. No. I think we saw like 4 of them.
Jack U. Wasn't it Jack U was there?
Well, no, that was Diplo played a Jack U song.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't see Jack U because we never saw Skrillex.
Skrillex, right.
So I say the best night we ever had was the 2-nighter.
That was fun.
Yeah, maybe for you guys.
That was fun, and Tim had to go home.
So last year, 20 minutes in.
Last year at a place in our city, they had a 2-night concert. It was actually like 2 separate shows, but it ended up being back to back, Thursday, Friday, and both nights were just loaded with like the best of like all genres that we listen to. And the first night like it ended with 2 really good ones, but it kind of started slow. But like right before like one of the better acts came on, Tim just like had to bow out, go home with like a migraine, which happens. I mean, he was able to go relax up so he could come to the second day, which ended up being like the Millennium show, which is like one of the better shows.
That was awesome.
But yeah, me, Brian, and Christian ended up kind of holding it down that first night.
I do. Yeah, it sucks. There's 7 lines that I missed.
Slander
was 7 lines was good, but like, it was a Slander night back to back. That was the incredible part.
Yeah, they're awesome too.
But here's a kind of question. 7 Lions reminded me because that show was like super loud. But what was going through all of your mind the very first time Excision lit up the PK bass system? So just for a little background for people listening. So yeah, we've seen all these shows. They're super loud. You get kind of used to it. But like there's a sound system called the PK bass sound system that has it's like 200,000 watts of just literally bass and not like nothing else. And we saw one of the DJs, Excision, who was like one of the first people who like designed and brought the system, and he brought it to like a pretty small venue in Boston that we go to, and none of the opening people had it, and we were young and dumb. We never had earplugs. We just got
the show.
We just had that.
That was before earplugs, and that was also when we tried to battle to the front every time.
Yeah.
We
so
kind of changed now. Like we kind of don't care about getting up front as much anymore. That was when we were, and we just like we got to that front rail, and we like halfway through the show, we were like looking at the stage, like that's not even the stage, that's the speakers. Like the whole front of the stage, stage height was lined with these like speakers all the way up.
Speakers,
and we're just like, oh no, like we're gonna die.
So the speakers themselves were probably like 3 feet by like 4 or 5 feet, and there was 2 of them on top of each other.
And on the sides there was more.
There was also like 2 in the front and then 2 more right behind them.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so like the whole night we finally realized it. And we're like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. It felt loud. But then when the last guy came on, like he had like a really cool stage, so you couldn't really see him. And like his beginning song was kind of slow, just kind of hitting with a couple punches. But then like when the first the first low bass note hit, like I think we all like started bleeding. It was you can't even begin to explain to anybody how loud it is without them being there. Like you can't even
levitating.
But yeah, it's not even just the loudness. It is loud, but it's also just like the little vibrations you feel inside. Like you think your heart is gonna stop for a second.
Brains rattling.
Like your hair all stands up in your whole body, and it's just like you feel like everything's shaking, and just like everyone, you look around, and everyone's like, "Oh god!"
All the first timers kind of look around like, what the fuck? And like 20 minutes into a set, like I remember like trying to communicate with, I don't know, is either Tim or Christian or something, like, I can't stay. I can't do this anymore. Like, it hurts. And, you know, like after like an hour, you just like, you have full, you know, tinnitus or whatever it's called in your ear. You don't even care. You're like deaf. And then like that night, like coming home, you're just trying to sleep and it's like, it's just so loud.
So bad.
You cut out when you said that.
Like we feel the intensity in our ears when we come out. We can't hear anything. Yeah. And every time we just go out to like go to 7-Eleven to get something, I don't even know how I made it all the way at the back just to get something to eat.
Yeah. Oh, I remember like when we used to do at the beginning, we used to do our Wendy's run after like 1 a.m.
Those are for like the Songus shows.
Yeah.
That was the old 2 small Frosties and a large Sprite.
He's like trying to hold all 3.
So Brian, for anyone who doesn't know, he much prefers 2 small Frosties than 1 large Frosty.
Absolutely.
And then he's
we'll leave it at that.
trying to carry them all.
I'll tell you why. I don't know why. That's just.
But then he got a large Sprite, so then he had 3 objects to hold instead of 2. And we couldn't eat inside because it was like 2 a.m. So we're like trying to go in the car and you guys like fumbling like all these Frosties.
Oh man.
That was good. But yeah, moral of the story is since that show we pretty much brought earplugs with us almost every time. Or at least on the shows that we know are coming with that sound system.
I think I've only worn earplugs once.
I've been wearing them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've been wearing
even for the shows.
One of the exceptions,
especially earplugs.
I lost actually the last show we went to. I lost one. One fell out, and I was like, "Well," so I actually have to get more. But I got time.
Yeah, I mean, don't okay.
What?
Don't use regular earplugs. Use special ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say. For those of you who don't know, they have like rave concert earplugs that they only kill the vibration that actually like hurts your ear, but it lets in like all the music and all the sound. And they actually work really good. Like it does muffle it, but it just takes away like the sting of the craziness. But they work pretty well. We've been using them almost every show now just to save our future.
Yep.
I gotta get me a pair of those.
Yeah,
never had them.
They're like the eargasm or something, I think is what they're called. I mean, there's a lot of brands, but
yeah, there's another one I saw that I want to try, but like I said, no need right now. No time to.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till the next show, which is like 2024 or something.
That was so depressing having the last 2 get canceled, man.
That hurt.
That is true. So
that hurt.
Yeah, we actually had 2 pretty awesome shows scheduled. We're trying to get like 3 or 4 in like a 2-month span, but you know some of them didn't work out with people's work schedules. But we had 2 pretty sweet shows for like actually seeing people we didn't see yet. And it was just like the week when things shut down. Like up until the day before, we were like, should we go? Should we not go? Then we all decided not to go just to be safe. And they ended up canceling it. And then that was like back in March, like very beginning of March.
Yeah, March. Yeah, because I started.
I think it was March 2nd, or March 3rd or something like that.
Yeah.
Was the one.
And like this, those got canceled. And now here we are. It's 4 months later, 5 months later.
Damn, been tough.
That's how we became boy with the boys.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have been doing this if we would have just normally hanging out and going to shows. So I mean, you got to look at the positive, I guess.
That's true.
Music brought us together, and now it's sort of like forcing us to do this because we can't do that.
you know, it'd be cool. Like in future, like we're still around. Like after a show, we should like do a podcast.
If we're still around, what is that supposed to be?
No. We're all gonna die.
Damn, that's morbid.
Hey, it's virus. You know, anything can happen.
But we're all after a show. We're all just gonna be screaming into them. Hey guys,
that was so good.
Oh man.
Like I'm at Brian's house and he's at Christian's house. We're all at different houses. We don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know if I'd have the energy after those things, man. After jumping around for like 4 hours, your feet hurt, your back hurts. You wake up the next morning feeling you got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Do one like as we're walking to the 7-Eleven, then down the train station, then on the subway.
We could get a cool
like a moving podcast, you know?
It'll be like a vlog. We could do like a post-concert vlog. It'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I think it's like Tim was saying with your back hurts. Like when we first started going, we're like young, like we're ready to go, and now it's like we go and like at the end of the show, we're like, oh my god, my back hurts so bad, like my feet. Like
I think we pace ourselves.
Yeah, now we have a better schedule. We're like, oh, don't go hard, you gotta wait, you gotta wait for the
like you get a couple of good songs that you go, you know, a little hard for in the beginning, but you gotta pace yourself and then you wait for the main, because we used to just go hard the whole time, and it's like, dude, the dude's not even up yet, and I'm ready to leave.
The best DJ hasn't even done yet.
People who are like, it's the first person, and there's not even like 20 people in yet, and they're just going crazy, and it's like the opening act. I'm like, oh my god.
You know what I hate? When we go to the show and then we're waiting in line and they already started the act. And then we get there and we just completely miss the set right there. I hate that.
We missed the Zimmer that way.
Yeah, I was so pissed.
That was like on the venue.
That's the venue, man. That's what happened with Steve Aoki. So again, like House of Blue is like our primary location that we've been seeing shows. So for the show they're talking about, like they said doors open at like 7. So we got there at like 6:30 to get in there. They didn't start letting people in until like 7:30 or so. And the first DJ, as soon as he walked in, he was like, "Thank you very much," and he's like leaving. And we're like, was he playing for nobody, or like did he start his set when like the first person walked in? Like, what was the point of that? Like, just poor management. And then the same thing for Steve Aoki. Like, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna open the doors an hour early so everyone can come in." So like, oh shit, we got there like 5:45, and they opened the doors at like freaking 8 o'clock.
It said what time to show up on the ticket, and they're like, "Nah, man, we don't do that."
Yeah, I know. They're like, I have the email I got this morning.
Yeah.
Like, nope, no, that's for VIPs. Like, no, it isn't. It literally says everyone on the email. And that was the day that it was like 30 degrees out, and we all had shorts and t-shirts, and we waited in 30-degree weather.
Free tickets for a VIP, and we get there, and they're like, "It's closed." I'm like,
"Oh yeah, that was weird."
Yeah, they were like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "I won tickets," and they're like, "Oh, we're not doing that." Like, you gave me the tickets. You told me I won these VIP tickets. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's nah, man." Like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm glad we didn't like not buy a ticket because we thought you had that.
Yeah,
that was
stupid.
I mean, we haven't had a single bad like night when we go, but they definitely have had some weird organizational issues.
Yeah,
for the time we bought the VIP to go in that area's drink.
Oh, the song.
That was actually pretty nice up there.
That was the song.
Yeah. Well, that was just because
like drinking, just looking down.
Because like the first guy was playing was kind of like just kind of chill. We're just kind of walking around. So we're like, oh, we'll try to do something. But like, you couldn't buy food or drinks or anything. So until you bought some weird pass to go in the back. So we're like, whatever. We spent like $200 just to like walk in this door. And then we walked in and like they had like 5 drinks you could get, or like 2 drinks. It was like super limited. But then we're like, oh, this is stupid, whatever. And then we all get a drink, and like the next DJ started, and it was like, this is magical.
It was so cool.
We were like high in the air, kind of looking down on the stage that was down here.
Yeah.
There was like I don't want to say a rail, but it was like a stand you could kind of rest on, kind of lean over the balcony.
It was like a bar. Like it was almost like a bar stool thing where you could sit over.
Yeah, it was a chill spot. I like that. Like sometimes you want to get away from the crowd for a little bit, just to like relax and just like talk to your buddies next to you, like, oh man, this is all.
Yeah, especially during that type of music, it was more chill. Like
like one of our favorite songs played. We can actually hear each other talk, and we're just like vibing out, just like the 4 of us. It was like super cool. And then like when the next guy came on, we're like, all right, let's go back down and like get into the crowd and stuff. But like,
it was a pain getting down there. Just like you had to literally crisscross down.
Yeah, I think it really wasn't bad. We just kind of like
over stuff.
We just kind of hopped in the main thing. But like that whole experience was like, that was awesome. I would definitely do like that exact scenario with those same DJs again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a good time. So we didn't really talk about music. We just kind of talked about concerts.
That's fine. Just talk about our experiences.
It's true.
See, we talk about how we want to, bring people into gaming maybe, but maybe we'll bring some people into different genres of music.
Yeah.
Like the electronic music scene is a little
different.
It's different, but it's like people don't really understand it as much. But there's a lot of
you go to one and you try it out.
It's
awesome. Especially if you're with the right people. If you go with somebody who's like, oh, this is dumb. Why do you listen to this music? then
Yeah,
it's
you
like
gotta go with an open mind, and it's like, yeah, there's some weirdos there with like glow in the dark gloves, being all weird, and it's like, tripping on acid right next to you, and it's like you don't need to do that kind of stuff. Like if you go and just like dress normal and like just have a good time and just chill with your friends, like it's an awesome time. Like you can do whatever you want. Like you can go in any direction you want. I mean, but it's like, I don't know, if you go with the right people, it's definitely a good time. There's so many different genres, and they're all good. We've seen everybody at this point.
It's like these people are artists too. Like that's the thing that people always like talking about. It's not music. Like these people, like a lot of the DJs are like they play guitar and piano and all these other instruments. Like they know music theory. Like they need to know what they're doing.
What was that guy that was playing the guitar? He's
Sullivan
like
King.
Yeah,
he's like a heavy metal dude.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, but even like Davin was playing. He's just like plays a song. He jumps up. He's playing guitar. Like Elenium's like playing like a piano and stuff. And it's like, it's just so cool when they mix it all together. Like those are like really immersive shows.
Like even the like we did see a little mix of every genre into dubstep. And, or electronics music, just like rock, rap, country. You get everything into the mix of it.
I've been to country shows.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a country show.
Michelle likes country, so I've been to a couple. And it's not my thing. I mean, people vibe and have a good time, whatever. To each their own. It's not my thing, but
no.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been to like a bunch of different like types. Even one time when we were in college, Michelle was taking some music class and she had to go see some show. So we're like, oh, we should go see this. Like all these like, what's the word for it? Like orchestra kind of shows, like symphony and stuff like that. We're like, oh, we'll try this show. We showed up like literally just to get like a check mark on her like paper or something. And we were like the only people under like 60 there. Everyone's like in suits and they're drinking like wine and they're all fancy. And we're like, whoa, I'm in like jeans, and like we just kind of sat there. Everyone's like looking at us like we're like, yeah, like I don't really like this, but this is for homework. Yeah, it was just it was like just. I mean, the music again. It was like Tim said, like this artist. Like I could appreciate like the person playing whatever the hell they were playing. It was like that person is talented. That's not like my choice, but like I'm not gonna like rag on them. But it was the whole experience was a bit awkward because it was like. Thought it was gonna be this like random open thing, and ended up being like this like 60 plus like concert.
60 plus.
Yeah, it was fun.
Lots of good memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where we are in time, but what do you got, Christian? One last thought.
Even as well, like we even jam out in the car. Like we have our trips, we always jam out, like turn up the radio,
man,
and straight on the highway, just cruising. Even if there's traffic, we're just jamming out some music, just talking about
water guns at Cody when he's driving behind us.
Yeah, well, I think Tim said it, so it's like our like experience shifted over time. So I feel like a huge portion of the nights when we go out are just like the journey to and from. You know what I mean? Like after the concert, stumble into 7-Eleven to get like a protein bar and a Gatorade, and like. Driving into Boston and parking, going on the subway, like that's all just like such a good time. Like there's so many memories of those times too. So it's definitely
some weird ones, some good ones,
some rat wars down in the subway.
I remember our first time we did that. It was just like so sketchy. We're all like silently just sitting on a subway, just like it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
and now it's
just
we're like taking up the whole subway. We're like, what's up?
I feel like everybody looks at us because we're all
because. We're wearing shorts.
Yeah,
usually in winter.
Shorts to the show. I can tell you that.
Christian's like, I'm gonna wear my work boots and my thickest jeans.
Safety, man. Someone stepped on my shoe a couple times.
Brian's been wearing the same shirt that was physically given to him off the back of another human being at the show.
Huge sweaty man.
He was like 300 pounds.
He's like, I'm sorry, this girl got crazy.
Here's my shirt.
Thing, and then this like huge dude, he's like 6'4", and he's like huge. He's a big dude, not like muscular, but I guess a fat dude. I don't know.
I guess.
And he cut in front of us, and he was with like these two girls, and cut in front of us, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," and he took off his shirt. I've been wearing that shirt ever since, and that was like one of the first ones I ever went to. So I think it's like seen some better days.
Yeah. He's watched it though, people. He has watched it.
Yes, I have. Maybe. But yeah, it's funny. It's got a huge hole in the neck part here, so like I should probably just rip it down and make a V-neck of it or something.
Like a reverse V-neck, it comes down like this.
The collar would be the only thing intact. It would be ripped all down.
Just your like boobs are hanging out both sides. Oh,
like, yeah, you can't come in. Like, why?
This is bad.
Man.
Well, any last thoughts on concerts?
Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do stupid shit. Surround yourself with good people.
Drinks.
Like Christian said, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Well, we have like a ridiculous amount of memories, and hopefully we're not done making those memories. This year is proving to be shitty, but let's hope that turns around and we can get back in those concerts, making more memories.
Yeah.
Then eventually, the more episodes we do, we're gonna have a little story for you for like each of those concerts, and maybe we can just do a whole episode after, or maybe
maybe we'll bring them with us. We'll bring them with us. GoPro.
No, we did have that video where we did that music. It's like a music video.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, but that was like
old crappy phone videos, and the whole video goes copyrighted and taken down.
So stupid.
But that's different because I put the song on the video, but if we record it, that's different. So yeah, maybe we'll bring the people with us eventually. Do some post concert chat, some on the way chat, and maybe some during concert craziness.
Maybe we'll throw a little party on our new studio.
But with the Boys Studio 2030.
All right.
Well, that was a good one. I didn't think we were going to just reminisce the whole time, but that was that was fun.
All right. Stay tuned to the next episode of Board with the Boys.
Let's see what we'll talk about.
We don't know what we're going to talk about. We probably won't. We're going to talk about until.
Or we're going to say we're going to talk about one thing and then kind of just talk about something completely different.
Yeah. We're evolving, so eventually it'll just be something.
Yeah,
it's anything.
It's always going to be something. That's the main goal.
That's true.
Yep.
Make sure you tune in just to see us have a conversation.
Right.
We'll keep it interesting. So we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.